Oh, welcome to the Ghost Quarter. It's not a video if I haven't had to throw something, so that's my one throw for the day. Alright, here's what I'm up to. I want to talk very quickly about the end of the year. By the way, Happy New Year. This video should be coming up probably at like 1 a.m. In January. January 1st, 2025. I didn't want to do a celebratory video. If you recall last year, here's the clip. Happy New Year. Oh shit. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Yeah, that's why I'm not doing a bottle and, you know, yeah, no thank you. You have no idea how much of a mess that was to clean up. Months later, I was still finding places that had been hit by random, you know, globs of champagne. I'm just like, you know what, that's not what I want to deal with. No. I lost money on that deal. I'm like, no, we're not doing that again. Anyway, let's stay on track. So, some highlights that I haven't mentioned from 2025. Mainly, I'm a level 4 salesman on TCGplayer. What that means is I can upload any amount of cards to TCGplayer that I want, which is good. I have 250,000 cards I'm slowly working on getting my way listed to my store. That's a lot of cards. Also a lot of work. And I've been doing this for well over a decade at this point, selling cards. I've been playing even longer, since the original Prophecy set back in 2000. And I don't mean 2001 or some random number. I mean 2000. I've been playing for about 25 years. About 2/3 of my life, to be specific. Anyway, I've been playing for a very long time. And that being said, I know a thing or two when it comes to going through a Magic the Gathering collection. I can look at a card and generally go, combo piece, not combo piece. Then you have your really crap cards like Tor Giant. And it's like, just get out of here. Just go away. I will sell you when I get around to you. It's kind of where I'm at on that. But I've been working on getting the stuff up to the TCG player store. The second thing I'm working on is figuring out a way of promoting my TCG player store as I go through collections that I buy on the YouTube channel. Because a lot of times I'll go through a collection, I'll find something awesome and be like, great, now how do I tell people I have this? And I've been thinking that might be a good idea to do on this channel, where I'm like, hey, I just bought this 100,000 card collection. This is what I found. And then showing off the really cool stuff. Obviously that means the other cool stuff would be going up on TCGplayer as soon as I got it. So obviously if there's something that interests you in the collection, it would be going up on TCGplayer. And I'm thinking about doing a special where I'm going to do giveaways and also discount deals, where it's like I'm going to post a video and then tell people, hey, at this time I'm going to be promoting this particular thing at a certain price. And I'm also probably going to start doing things where I'm going to do like direct sales or something. Oh, hold on.
We have hit the very last day of Hood Holidays, and what a journey it's been. I'd like to give a special toast to our gold members, some of whom have been given some pretty amazing gifts, like vacations, luxury watches, Bitcoin, and of course, Dogecoin. We hope you enjoy them, and we still have more up our sleeve. Take a look.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Well, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not winning a Porsche or a Rolex watch or a Hermes Birkin bag or anything else. I know I'm probably going to get Bitcoin. That's okay. I can't afford the taxes on anything else, so I'm okay with that. The taxes are free on the Bitcoin at least. Anyway, so back to the video. My plan is to do discount deals and or giveaways or other things on the YouTube channel here. Admittedly, to help promote my store. I'd really like to get Patreon up and going as well, like a proper Patreon where, that would help to do bigger giveaways or something. It's one of those things where I really feel like I could do quite a bit more if I just put my mind to it. Now, as for the actual physical storefront, I need to start getting something in there that's more interesting to people because as it currently sits, I have some cool things. The main cool thing that I have is models, like miniature tanks and so on and so forth. And I also have, pinball machines. The problem is that I make way more money doing the card sales. It legitimately would make more sense to just let that store lapse and just do the card sales from my apartment. I honestly feel like I would be better off doing that. I don't like saying those words, but I'm also like, I'm paying $250, which is really good on the rent, by the way, for this, but it's not making me money as I'd like it to make me. I've brought home, I believe, around $3,000 this year total. I haven't really done the proper math on that yet, but I'm like, honestly, I really feel like I need to make a big change and fast. The faster I do it, the better, truthfully, because every year I'm spending, more money on a storefront that's not collecting as much as I need. It's not cost effective. Whereas I sell one thing on TCGplayer, I make a good chunk of change. So it makes more sense to sell more on TCGplayer and, just kind of ditch the storefront idea. But on the other hand, I'm losing money off the table that could be going towards making that deal go better. So it's like, it's a catch-22 of, what do I actually do and what do I want to do? And, I've been toying with the idea of letting the physical storefront go for a while. But I'm also like, I'm not being sentimental about this. I see the advantages of having said storefront. So, it's a bit of a problem for me. But, I'm also a realist in that I probably should focus more on what actually makes more money and then doing that better. And then coming back to the main event idea. Because the idea that I have is I want to get the storefront bigger and better, but the location I'm in is too small and I can't do anything about the wiring in it. So here's my problem. Alright, let's say for a moment that I wanted to put yet another pinball machine in there. I'm pretty sure the circuit can't handle it. I've got enough draw on the line that it's probably not going to let me put another pinball machine in there. So it doesn't make sense to get another pinball machine at $8,000 to put in there and then not be able to run any of them. That makes no sense. So I'm better off not doing that and focusing more on card sales and improving that. Which brings me back to, legitimately, one of the videos I want to do in the very near future is, I want to do a video titled, I bought 100,000 cards, here's what I found. Legitimately, where I go through 100,000 cards, and then maybe not show you everything, but over like a period of a couple of weeks, show you, this is my top picks for today. this is my top picks for this today. This is my top picks out of the collection for today. That went up on TCGplayer or whatever. And then linking to my TCGplayer account, because I really feel like something like that would go over pretty well, especially if people really started to pay attention to my store. I also have an idea for... over time, I've collected domain names. For example, one of the domain names that I have is Final Boss Vinyl. I have an idea for a website that is literally, basically like a gaming store online, but also a vinyl record store online, which would be pretty cool. And my idea is I want to run a online vinyl record store called Final Boss Vinyl, which is the domain name, and also I want to be known as the Vinyl Boss. Ryan Albright, the Vinyl Boss. Sounds pretty fucking baller. And not only that, but over time I want to build up my assets to be able to afford a house, because I'm renting here. I don't mind renting here, but I'd like to get my own house. That's number one. Number two, I want to be making enough money online from what I'm doing to be able to afford said house. And number three, I'd like to be able to quit my job and be paying for everything through my business. So it makes sense at that point to really start working on, making the business more profitable than it currently is. And once I have that private property that I want, the second thing I'm going to do is have a garage purpose-built for, really fancy exotic cars. Not because, I'm a collector. No, I want to actually get to a point where I make my own, literally make my own museum on, the cars that I have. I'm going to admit that I'm a very expensive person when it comes to, I like expensive things. Not just because, it's expensive, but because the craftsmanship and the history behind it. That's why I'm a fan of Rolls-Royce, is there's a lot of history and there's a lot of innovation there that I can get behind. That's why I like them. Not saying that the other companies don't do the same, but I really am a big fan of Rolls-Royce and what they're doing. That said, I also don't want to, let my cars go after they're no longer, usable or whatever. I want to keep them nice, and then by the time I'm done with them, like, for example, I get a newer vehicle, and it's like, okay, well, this older one can be moved to the museum. And then I park it in the museum, I disable it so it can't be driven away, and then it's on display for people to see. That would be pretty cool. I like that idea. It's something I'm actually kind of interested in. The problem is, you have no idea how much money that costs. I mean, could you imagine a $500,000 car that I'm no longer using being put into a museum? I'm thinking like Jay Leno at that point, but I'm not as funny as Jay Leno. Not even remotely. But my point is, I want to get to where I'm actually doing things that are interesting. I'm not trying to become the living version of that commercial of, I am the most interesting man in the world. But I am trying to get to a point where I'm doing something more interesting than what I'm currently doing. Which, not that my store isn't interesting, it's just, you can only say, I bought a new pinball machine so many times before it starts to lose the pizzazz behind it. It's like, oh hey, he has another pinball machine. Yay, big fucking whoop. Do something different. You get my point. But anyway, where I'm going with this is there's a lot of things that require build-up to it. And I think that is interesting. If I can show people, okay, I started with this. I started with $200 5 years ago. I've built up to a $20,000 store, from $200. That's pretty good. In the middle of a pandemic is even more impressive. The pandemic's over. I need to start actually doing things now. We need to start building and building faster. And that's why I really think the TCGplayer thing is the way to go. But I also have to do other things to start ramping up as well, which it's all part of my plan, not to sound like Sasuke Aizen, but yeah, anyway, I'm not going to try and attempt the voice. But my plan is simple. Keep working, keep building, keep innovating. Anyway, with all that said, I'm going to see you all tomorrow. I actually have tomorrow off, and I'm going to be posting a new video tomorrow as well. So, thank you, and if I forgot to put it in here, the clip in here where I explain why I'm not drinking a bottle of wine, here's the clip. Happy New Year. Oh, shit. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Alright, I hope you got a laugh out of that. Thank you all for watching. I will catch you all on the next one, which will be tomorrow, because I've got a plan, and I want to talk to you about the plan. I just want to write down my thoughts and actually build a timeline of this is what I'm trying to do, and the timeline involved thereof. So, catch you all on the next one. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year, and I will see you tomorrow. Tempus Rive Est.